operated by the biggest operator in the West Midlands, National Express West Midlands, and I hope you enjoy the journey. So here we are leaving the Quinton, leaving Dudley, and just enjoy the journey. Just started our journey from the Evolve campus. So we just started from Dudley Evolve and we'll be on our way to Q8, so I'm just now waiting at the island. So this, I think, bus number 826 was previously branded for the 222 service that goes from Dudley to, that went from Dudley to Merrill, which we now know as the 222I series from Wren's Nest through to Merry Hill. Comment below if you know me. And that was fitted with the audible next stop announcements, which got retired, but are now evolved. Next stop announcements have been rolled out to buses across the West Midlands as part of the government law. To be similar to the TTS ones and the B network up in Greater Manchester. Not to be confused with the NX19 ones over in London. There's an Alexander Dennis Body D200. That's working for the 11th service bound for Warsaw. Normally it is the Eclipses that do the 11s, but the Eclipses vary to different routes around the Midlands, so it's nice to see something more practical for each of the routes, because it's nice how they mix the routes around. So just behind us is 962 12 service. It's coming into Dudley. Anyway, there's the station hotel. So this is the Black Country operating route. Back to the days when this was under TWM, Travel West Midlands. This route was numbered the 244 and it used to run from Dudley to Hayley Green, where it competed with the 4H service from Walsall via West Brom and Blackheath. Just about to pass us is an Alexander Dennis Body Enviro 200 MMC, a 2025 reg, and that is on the 214 service to the Fox Yards that used to form part of the former National Express West Midlands 14 from Fox Yards to Halesowen, as well as the 24 from Fox Yards to Netherton. Right, here's work going on this new interchange, the Dudley interchange. So work is progressing to build that new terminal. The new gyro system, driving reverse out. So this is going to be the newest, it's going to be the first in this region to feature that sort of technology. It's going to be the first for National Express West Midlands to experience. Diamond, obviously, I think they've done that at when they used to do the Danbury work when Johnson's went out. But other operators like Bangor, they're used to gyro system because already they do a gyro system over in Telford in Shropshire on their 891 service from Wolverhampton. So there's the Churchill Shopping Centre with the Iceland, which is one of the major stores. Now Iceland used to be the best, used to be BT's department store, which is a company that got acquired by House of Fraser, but sadly, due to poor rent, the Dudley branch sadly had to close their doors for the final time. So it's going to be really interesting to see Dudley Interchange looking like a warm welcome, and of course with the new 25A service to Kidderminster, which started back in the spring, has really welcomed. So anyway, we're just going past the Cousins Furniture store, which was open. So the 12's going to the Birmingham, so that's following us, but we'll branch off when the 12 turns off. So this is going all the way to and the QE section on the 244 used to be known as the 636, 637, and also the 99, and that was managed by Birmingham Central Garage, with the 244 managed by Pensnet. It wasn't until 2016 or 2017 that this route got merged to form the 244, fall to the QA, bringing Pensnet down to the South Birmingham region for the very first time, because all the South Birmingham routes are usually covered by the Birmingham garages. But obviously you do have the 48 that does go into the South Birmingham region, and that goes all the way from West Bromwich to Hawkesley, and that replaced the former stagecoach 46 service that went from the QE Hospital to King's Heath, with the A variant going to Hawkesley only. So here we go. Now about to head down the Buffering, so the 12 branches off to go towards Aldebury and Birmingham, and we're now going down the Buffering Road, so just enjoy the journey. Now the other routes that come down here is the number 7 that goes from Dudley to Wollaston Junction, and that's the only route that comes along here these days. You did at one time have the Diamond Boss TFWM tendered 124 from Dudley to Craig Heath, but that was withdrawn in 2019. And you did have the 215 that went from Dudley down to Warrens Hall, but now that's branched off to go via the X8 towards Uplands. That goes on to Blackheath, and that route used to be known as the full 24 from Fox Yards to Merry Hill, first being run by Diamond, then Igo, then Hanson's, then Diamond again, then National Express took over, then they took the Fox Yards bit off in September 2019, and the 24 just going Dudley to Merry Hill, and now they've split the route with the 24 just going Blackheath to Merry Hill, and the 215 covering the Dudley section. So that's the change, unfortunately. These don't last forever, so you've got to just make the most of it. It's like every weathers don't last forever. You just need to make the most of it. So anyway, here we are now at the bottom of Buffering Road. Okay then guys, here we are, we're now at the roundabout, and we are going round towards onto Baptist End Road, and we're paired up now with the 25 and 25A, the Diamond services, with the 25 going to Stourbridge, with the 25A stretching on to Kidderminster. Now, before the 25 scale up here, it was the 11 and the 11A from Merry Hill to Walsall via Dudley and Wensbury, but the 11 and the 11A have been scaled back to Dudley. And before the 11 and the 11A, it was the 81 from Merry Hill to Wolverhampton via Dudley and Woodcross. And the 81's been scaled back, with daytime journeys provided by Bacca, and Monday to Saturday evenings and Sunday daytimes currently provided by Diamond Bus, but that from November next month will be managed by National Express West Midlands, operating from Pensnet, which I'll be mentioning on how it's going to be going to work with another route later on. So there you go. loads of different garages have done it. 283 managed by Quinton, 81 Wolverhampton, and of course the 11A managed by Walsall. But the 11A now managed by Quinton. And when the 25 existed, when the 25 came along, it was managed on behalf of Kidderminster Garage, but it was at one time shared with Thibodeau using one bus, with with Kidderminster using 3 and Thibodeau just using 1. And Thibodeau just only did them on Sundays and late evenings, the shorts to Berry Hill. So we now joined up with the 18 service from the Cinderbank direction, and that's currently managed by Diamond, but from November, the same time as the 81, National Express West Midlands will continue, will take over the operation of the 18. So they'll return to operate the service, and there are some more changes which will fall in, of course, January. So I'm not going to mention any of the January changes apart from the first confirmed route, which is the National Express 25 from Wolverhampton to Pendeford, which will be taken on by Cannock-based Chase Rider. Because already Chase Rider have awarded the 57 contract off Diamond. It will currently only go to Willenhall for a start, and then will eventually extend to Bilston. So this is just down to roadworks in the area at the moment. So I'm just waiting on Halesowen Road at the moment. So the 18 and the 19 used to work together when National Express did the 18 in the past, but we'll see what happens in due course. After a brief pause here in Netherton, so we'll be about to make our departure to do the next leg of the journey. So we'll be seeing a bit of an iconic Netherton sign. Now that is, this is also the place where they made the chains for that famous cruise ship, the Titanic. Service that went up the old 81 and 283 and the old 124. I remember the 124 covering that patronage back in the day. So this is a real long distance route that connects Dudley with the Queen Elizabeth. It's operated by an operator based in Bromsgrove. So it'll be like, it's run by the Bromsgrove based independent. And then after that it will go on to Harborne, which used to be the old terminus of the Halesowen 004 from Mary that goes from Ridgeacre Tesco's to Longbridge, and also we've got the 76 that goes to Solihull. It did continue on to Northfield, but 48 provides that patronage these. Okay, continuation, just crossed the number 7 service. That route is worked by various vehicles, Deckers and B7s, but I know the B7s are more practical for the 7 because it's down to like passenger use, and but obviously they do provide the Deckers even to cater for the school run, but they don't tend to use them during the weekends, except Sundays for some reason. I don't know how it's done now. Maybe it's just the way that the company has had it programmed. So here we go. Now going down by the Molyneux Road. So the only diamond service that will come along here now will be the 24 service that goes from Maryhill to Blackheath, which Nash Express we all used to run. But obviously now Nash Express West Midlands only have the larger E200s at Pensnett, with the little ones, those 700 series ones, we've now gone to Perry Bar Garage to work the 96 that goes Kingstanding to Chelmsley Wood, with the evening and Sunday patronage going on to the airport and the NEC, and also the older 700 ones have gone into reserve with some been moved down to Gravesend in Kent to begin a new life of operations, and those ones have come from IGO, which was a company that went bust in 2019, and also one of them has come from and then the others have come from Explore Dudley, National Express's sister operator from Scotland. Yeah, they do operate in Dundee as well. We also got the Coventry routes as well. Now the Coventry one is now branded as electric. So we're now in Old Hill. This is a little bit of a similar feel to what you'll react with Great Bridge because of the twisty corners. So we're paired up now with the X10 service that goes from Gormerwood, Maryhill and into Birmingham city centre. This route does go to Birmingham Way, but not into the central part of Birmingham. It goes into like the southern parts of Birmingham. So central Birmingham. So the garages that National Express have. So you've got Pensnett, which runs this route in the X10. Then you've got West Brom that does the 3 alongside Pensnett. Walsall on the 4M. Then of course you've got the other garages, Wolverhampton, Park Lane, that does the like routes like the X8, the 8, and the 16. Spud Story. Taking a Michael out of Toy Story. So you've got Wolverhampton, Park Lane, and then of course there is Acop Screen, AG, Yardley Wood as well. Then of course you've got the main Birmingham garage, Birmingham Central. Then there's Perry Bar, that is one of the newest garages at the in the Birmingham area, serving routes going into the northern parts. And Perry Bar is also the newest, and then of course got, as well as Perry Bar, there's Coventry Garage that runs all the Coventry electric routes. And then as well as Coventry, there was at one time Bordsley Green, but sadly that had to close for obvious reasons. So there was Bordsley Green garage that's closed, because there was a garage at Bordsley Green. There used to be older travel garages, like there was Arts Hill, there was even Quinton, even Dudley, and as well as Quinton there was quite a few older garages that no longer exist. previously the 14A going from Merry Hill to Dudley, and as well as the 14A, it was the 24 for a short stint, and before that was the legendary 129 from Merry Hill to Birmingham via Blackheath. And way before the 129, you had the Peach Travel 123 service that went from Merry Hill to Bearwood, and it even went to Perry Bar. So those bus enthusiasts who remember Peach Travel based at West Brom, and there was also Central Connect as well. So there were so many old operators, and also there was a company called Joe's Travel. Well, there's a familiar name. It's me. Well, obviously it wouldn't be me really, but it's only according to when I'm looking at old maps. So I do a lot of old route assessing, looking at how the routes used to operate back in the day. So here we are. Right, we're now going along, and just about to pass is a real special bus. It's an Alexander Dennis bodied Enviro 200, and it's a Coventry Heritage Transport livery. It's carrying the red and ivory colour of Coventry Transport. Now, the Coventry Transport livery Enviro 200 used to be seen on the seen on the AX 400 Dennis Trident, but obviously that had to be withdrawn because of Euro 6 specification. Right, the Tridents are soon having their day. They're all sadly being scrapped, which is a shame, because I was so upset to see the Tridents go, but still there's a batch of them still in service at Yardley Wood and Walsall. Obviously I am so have my passion with AX 400 body buses because of the design and also the look of the buses, but they will never be forgotten. Okay guys, we are now en route into Halesowen, so we just go round this side estate that will take us into Halesowen. That's taking us into Halesowen on the 19. So there's going to be a handful of changes happening. So we're going round to Halesowen now. So this is also responsible for attendees for students who attend the nearby Halesowen College. Even though there's no direct bus service that goes in onto the college property, but obviously there are bus stops around the corner to enable access to the college, and recently they've took over the space of Trinity Point, which is that big office that used to be the old chorus offices in Halesowen. So that had been taken on by a campus for the college. We are now going around this estate. So now we're going by Sainsbury's. So this is quite, as you know, there are a lot of parked up cars on this route, but it's not as bad as, it's not like tight compared to the 24 route, which has a lot of windy roads, and also the 10A 10C, which we all know is the 88 pulled by Diamond. So you will see various operators in around here. So we're coming on towards Halesowen. Halesowen, you've got connections to various different destinations such as Stourbridge, Merry Hill, connections at West Brom, well, for West Bromwich, and also the Sunday X21 that also goes to the QEM, but not onto the grounds of the hospital compared to what the 19 does. So we've just now hit traffic lights, temporary traffic lights. There's always temporary traffic lights about wherever you go these days. Okay then guys, we are on our way towards Halesowen bus station, so we'll be coming along, so we're just going to branch to the left and then we'll go to the right. So anyway, here's a sign, 19 towards Old Hill, that's on the opposite direction, and so this is tended on behalf of TFWM, Transport for West Midlands, who are like the local authorities who provide the transport around this end. So we're going on to Old Horn Lane, so straight ahead is to the college, Halesowen College, but the main mode of transport that Halesowen College provide is by the coach company Prospect, which is my favourite coach operator, because I've been fans of that coach company for many years, even since I was young. So this is the Halesowen Town Football Club here. So that's where the Halesonians play, Asbica, and we'll be just rolling into Halesowen. It's called the Harry Grudge stand. There's a stand called the Harry Grudge. So these Alexander Dennis bodied E200s are so practical for these side road routes, especially with longer routes, but with tighter routes it's mainly the smaller ones, but the smaller ones, like I said earlier, have gone to Perry Bar. So we're going to be arriving at Halesowen, so the time is now 10:53, so we'll be due into, so we should get to the QA before 12 o'clock lunchtime, so we will be paused for a moment, and something. So it's 7 miles away so we're 7 miles away from Birmingham, so Halesowen like touches the Birmingham boundary. It's like the border for like Worcestershire, Dudley, Birmingham and Sandwell. Halesowen. This is Halesowen. So we're now in Halesowen. So we're by the parish church, which sits right in the heart of the town. So this sits in the heart of the town, the parish church. So here it is. Here's the church. That's the Church of Halesowen with the flag's on, but it's half ripped. But this is a real decent route. This is the 19. So the next stop is Halesowen bus station for connecting services to Maryhill, Walsall, West Brom, Blackheath, also on to Stourbridge, Birmingham, and also to Bromsgrove, Kidderminster, and further onward destinations, with this bus continuing further to the Queen Elizabeth. So welcome to Halesowen. So we're gonna get on to stand. So we're gonna be, I think we're gonna be pulled on for a short while, and I'll see you in a moment. Okay then, just moving on to stand right now at Halesowen bus station. Just had to have a quick break. Obviously I'm doing like the through service all the way to the QA. So just now moving on to stand right now, ready to do the next leg of the journey. Okay then guys, just now leaving Halesowen, and we're on our way to the Queen Elizabeth. So this is so we're just gone by. So Halesowen is the course you've got all the other businesses like B&M Bargains. There's also the library. There's Hayes Travel, which used to be Thomas Cook. Smile, Hayes Travel. Nobody offers you more. Hayes Travel.
Nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday.
And right now you can save £50 per person. That's £200 off for a family of 4.
Don't miss out.
Don't miss out. And that's another quirky moment to expand onto this banter comedy. So we're now going along to Pool Road, and as the Exton announcer used to say, Pool Road, Halesowen swimming pool. So here we are. Okay then guys, we're now ready to do the next leg of the journey. So the bus is now loaded up, ready for the next leg of the journey, or possibly the last leg, to go all the way to the Quinton Bismuth. So the next leg is going to go up the QE up towards B&Q at Muckler's Hill, and then that will go on to, and then we'll go on to Quinton. to run that service. Serviced by the Quinton cinema. So we're going by a Tesco supermarket at Quinton. That was built during 2000s. Probably one of the newest stores to replace some of the older stores. So now crossing the M5 motorway that goes from West Bromwich and then north, and goes through Worcester, Cheltenham, Worcester, Tewkesbury, Cheltenham, Gloucester, around the whole of Gloucestershire, down to the West Country and Bristol, then it goes on to Weston, Supermare, Taunton, then Bridgewater, then on to Belongton, Devon, on to Exeter, where it will turn. Then it gives way for the Devon Expressway, the Torquay Road, down to Torquay, Rom's Nursery, it's right there. People are loading up on the bus. Based independent operator, which is of course Kev's Cars and Coaches. You can see one of their buses just passing us. One of their buses has just passed. Alexander Dennis Body Enviro 200 NC. They operate a lot of Transport West Midlands tendered work. Around here, so they do 39 from Quinton to Longbridge, and also they do the 55 from Quinton Tesco to Longbridge, 19 from Morrison's Ruby Supermarket to Longbridge, Northfield, and also onto Maypole. And they also run the 10 from Fort Wellings into Birmingham City Centre during the peaks. And as well as that, they run the 39S, well, 39LE, they're in. There's a similar version to the 39, but that part of the 39 goes like from Woodgate Valley in California to Longbridge. And then as well as that, they've got the Worcestershire tender services, the 147 from Halesowen to Bromsgrove via Romsley, and the 318 from Stourbridge to Bromsgrove, and that goes via Hagley. And they did run the 355 from QE. They did run the 355 from Droitwich to Worcester, but now that's been taken over by First Worcestershire. First bus is the 22 and 22, and the 22 going to Hampton Pub and Trainway staff. And this was just because of the first bringing back the old historical numbers that they used Clifton runs 310 and the 380, 311, 312 and all that. So they brought those old routes back, and then I started taking on the Drawbridge 20 series off LMS to Clifton as well. So here we go. We're now by Ford Dwellings Academy, which is so that's the Ford Dwellings Academy there. So that's where the 50, that was the 55 that just went by. So most of these contracts before Kev's came over was run by IGO buses. So it was run by IGO, but IGO went into administration with these, with various operators stepping in to hold the fort until alternative operators could win or bid the contract. But seemed like they all tend to win these contracts. So anyway, just about to pass these one, and it's the bus I mentioned. His cars and coaches on 39 to Longbridge. So I've just gone far. So the vehicle on that one is 22 OHJ. That's going to Longbridge. So that's OHJ. So we're now coming down, so down Harborne. Because that is the name of the location here at World's End. And you're thinking, how did World's End get its name? Well, there's a bit of a question that will be mentioned later on the programme. This is World's End. We've just left World's End. So there's World's End Lane, the off licence and convenience. So when Diamond awarded these new contract routes, what they then did, they had to, they actually brought in a new set of buses to work the following contracts. So we're now on our way. So the next, so once we've done the 19, the next upcoming route will be the next hour 41 service from Quinton Hospital to Harborne Hospital. That is run by Stagecoach based out of Rugby Garage, but Stagecoach will not be running the 41 for long, with National Express returning to operate the route, operating from Acox Green, which will then extend on to Buckland End, replacing the part of the lost withdrawn 93 which Diamond used to do, and they withdrew it in 2022 when following a network shake-up. So I'm going to explain more about the 41 real soon. So you might realise there's a fellow person I follow blogs as well. So I do real exciting blogs. Well, I use it via ChatGPT. That was the app I use, ChatGPT, to make blogs. Right, here we go. We're now on the next leg of the journey. So we're now at the West Boulevard. So this is a bit of a awkward bit, like the 19 goes in different directions from different blocks there is. So there's sometimes have to do like that loop to take the opposite route. So here's possibly get the 73 to Solihull Town Centre, and then that is the route which we'll be doing, because obviously the A9 we have to like watch our time for the A9, which is like the Solihull service. There's Harborne local. Old 23 to Bartley Green, yeah, Newman University, so just about past us is BC's operating 23 to Bartley Green from Birmingham. So Petonsnet is the only garage that provides a route round here. That's the 19, so you've got the Midland Carpet and Furniture Shop, so there's a large choice of shops around here. There's a massive road down this high street here, Harborne. A place here called the Royalty. So we've got Asda Express. We've got quite a few good shops here in Harborne. The Junction pub, and here comes someone quirky thing. I am the one and only, and that's Waitrose. So Waitrose. Okay, slug and lettuce. Really traditional blue doors on this restaurant. So you've got loads of choices of places here. You've got the Art Foundation here in Harborne. Thank you. And of course you've got Waterstones, the bookshop. So you've got Waterstones. Specialises in books. PDSA, charity shop. Anyway, there's the works. Anyway, just gone past the works. There's the 23, another service to Bartley Green. Here comes Madison, so that's the gift shop that is part of rival Bentley. It's based in Stourport, and they also have branches in Birmingham's Great Western Arcade, also Solihull. There's 24 to Quinton Road West. So that means we're indicating, so also alongside, and this is the Green Man pub. This is the old 004 terminus that was run by Ludlow's, Hanson's, and then Diamond. Diamond obviously discontinued after the 2017 takeover from Hanson's. It was the weekies before that. So we're now signed for the BMI Edgbaston and the Priory Hospital. Don't get that confused with BMI and BMIbaby.com, the airline that was with tiny fares. day. And back in the day, it would then change onto an 18 service to Merry Hill, but obviously it no longer works the 18, so you will then just go back and forth all day. So I hope you enjoy the journey. Please be sure to like and subscribe to my channel, Joe's Bus Train Plane Lift Adventures, and I'll put that link. So thank you very, very much for watching. The next upcoming video will be the 41 service from the QE Hospital to the Heartlands Hospital, and then followed on with continuing journeys into the 73 service to Solihull.